Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly esteemed opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I will remain every Tuesday for the foreseeable future, at least until, well, yeah, basically for the foreseeable future at this point, until somebody inevitably calls me away. But it's good to be back in here. Katie is on assignment, but we do have with us the pod with the most. Dave Potter is with us from the Pod Cave.
Glad to be on as always.
Good to have you on here. And we got plenty to talk about. So let's jump right into it with the awesome thing of the week. Dave, what do you have for us this week?
Sure. So this week I decided finally, after 12 years of running, to actually get running headphones
Whoa.
instead of getting the $20 cheapies that I've been getting that have issues. I decided to actually spend money. And well, also because when I got the MacBook, which I talked about a few months ago, Best Buy said, "Oh, by the way, because you spent this and you signed up for our program, you have those points get converted to money, and they're running out soon."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh, that would pay for more than half of it." That is very nice. And right now, when on my show, because it's Prime Day, they're on sale on Amazon, so they're on sale everywhere.
Excellent.
So these are the Shocks with the Z headphones. These are bone conducting. And first of all, you can tell the difference. You got this really nice case here. These are not exactly portable. They do go around your head. And these are like a hybrid because Shocks in the past only did the bone conducting. So basically with the bone conducting, I can actually put these on.
You put them around your over-the-ear earphones for the podcast. Yeah. Yes.
There we go. And for the audio viewers, you can see it is actually in front of my ear here.
So your ear is now still open so you can hear as you're running.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what's going on around you. You have awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know like the AirPods Pro do have an awareness feature on it, but I didn't know if they would actually stick in my ear while I'm running.
Right.
So these ones, since it does go around the back, they are Bluetooth, but it does a hybrid. So it has bone conducting and they have very little speakers, which go right into your ears. So when you play this, and the quality is actually pretty good, you're not going to get great bass. But it's, if you're doing it while you're running, while you're doing things, it's above acceptable. In my mind, it sounds pretty good. If you check out the iPhoneography podcast from last night on YouTube, I used these because I wasn't able to use my normal microphone and headphones. So I used these via Bluetooth to do the podcast. And I did get a chance of running them. It's really nice not having something in your ear. That way you don't have to worry about sweat kind of collecting in your ear as you're running, which I have issues with. And they're just really well made. The previously Shocks had a proprietary connector that you could, that was a bit of a pain, to be honest, but it was more waterproof. They switched to USB-C, which it does have a little rubber gasket cover, so it's mostly waterproof. You can't go swimming in them.
Okay.
They do have versions you can swim in, but if it's raining outside, as long as you're not getting like a torrential downpour, which has happened, but a normal rain, you're fine with them. But yeah, it has a USB-C connector, so it'll keep as they say, a 10-hour charge. The only thing is, like I said, this is great. These are primarily going to be running for me. Because sometimes most of the time, like when I'm cutting grass, I'll wear my earphones, partially to listen to something while I'm cutting grass, but partially also for ear protection. And these, of course, wouldn't do anything. And the other thing that is really wild about these is you put these on, you start playing, the sound's loud, clear, but no one else can hear it. You're like, well, someone should. It's loud enough. It's as loud as a conversation normally is.
And it messes with you because you're typically like
there's some bleed out sometimes.
There's bleed out, but also like your open ear, so you don't feel like you should be receiving something, right?
Right. Right. And basically is, it's completely open ear. So if you have, like I said, when I went running, I could hear cars. going past me. It was easier to keep awareness in terms of going, especially near street crossings. In terms of, cars coming down, I was able to keep, or people coming up behind me. So they're really convenient. Right now they are on sale for, I think, for $130. Normally they're like 180. But honestly, if you do a lot of exercise and you do want to be able to remain to hear, they're a great option. And these are, and I know there's others, but these were the first. Generally, if you look at rankings, these are considered the best.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, they are so light on your head, you probably won't notice them after a while.
Good to know. Good to know. Awesome. So check those out. Those are, again, they're on Amazon. They're Best Buy. Again, they're a little cheaper right now because of that Prime Day that's going on. So Shock's new Open Run Pro 2s bone conducting headphones for about $125 currently as of this recording on the Amazon.com, and you can find better deals from there. So thank you, Dave, for that. So I thought this was cool. There's a lot of a lot of conversation about what's going on with the Steam machine. Remember, that was like kind of a Steam's next. You're going to buy a box that's going to play your Steam PC games, basically. It's a Linux-based operating system. My brother has one of the original Steam Decks, which is going to run. It's basically a PC that's in a Nintendo Switch kind of form factor kind of thing. It's wild seeing those like out in the wild in like airports and stuff, by the way. Like, I've seen them a couple of times. I was like, that Switch looks really big. Oh, that's not a Switch. He's definitely has like a Steam Deck or something, right? Or maybe I'll see him pop up at like competitions or something with these kids. So and unfortunately the new Steam machine did come out. I just seen a little bit of headlines around the reviews so far, and it's about an $1,100 computer, which really is like $1,100 like middle of the road computer, but it's a box that you can put hooked up to your TV and play all those games like you do your Xbox, right? That's the thing. It's not going to look as good as like stuff that's going to be on your Xbox necessarily if you play the same games, but you still have that access to that giant catalog that you have with Steam. So I thought this was interesting. This came across my feed today, that you can. This it wasn't a huge announcement. Apparently, this was just in some of the update notes to Steam OS. Again, a Linux-based operating system where they do a lot of the gaming here, right? So you should be able to install, allegedly. So I haven't seen articles of anybody that did this. As long as you have an AMD-based GPU, excuse me. I thought it was a CPU, but I guess it's just a GPU. Oh, okay. I do not have anything with an AMD GPU. But if you have an AMD GPU, you are able to download and install SteamOS to that computer. That is supported. Of course, more will be out, as we go here. I don't think I have anything with NVIDIA that isn't already a computer, already a production-based computer myself. So it's a problem. I buy a lot of stuff for production. I do not treat myself in PC gaming as far as hardware goes. So, and I just hope when we cycle them out, they're good enough to play a couple games. But I do have some older computers now. I'm thinking about it. I could probably throw this on to have some older NVIDIA GPUs and see what's happening. We'll have to check those specs. But maybe I don't have to, because Brother Sorg hits me up when I post this today and says, why don't you try this open source option? Because there's always an open source option. So let me go. Shoot, I should probably bring up his notes on this. I will in a moment here. But it's called, excuse me on the pronunciation, Bazzite, Bazzite. You can go to bazzite.gg. The .gg is usually for a good game. So this is, again, a Linux-based operating system. And again, if you're like, well, how am I going to play my games on Linux? There are kind of these emulators that will make the games work with it. A lot of Steam games are kind of porting over to the Linux platform to support their Steam OS. But there are installers to help you, much like on the Steam Deck, play games. Like this one includes easy integration into Steam Gamer Mode. It's going to have a Steam launcher pre-installed when you install this thing. And again, if you are familiar and comfortable with downloading something that you can, install a Linux off of, it should be relatively straightforward these days. But it does clearly integrate into that Steam gaming mode if you have anything from Xbox Game Pass using Battle.net, the EA app, the Epic Game Store, and GOG.com, itch.io, Rockstar Games Launcher, Ubi Connect, and it says your dad's old CDs and more. I feel slightly offended by that. So, but yeah, it looks like it's using Proton, which is one of the things that I think helps that helps make the games compatible over Linux. Kind of like we were talking about things that a little bit ago to make PC games compatible on a Mac before. Like this is that, and this is further along because they've been working on this a lot longer. And plus, it's got the support of Steam and Valve to make their games work on it, right? Mm-hmm. So you may, and I think it would also posit you probably won't get a lot of your older games to work on this thing. Do not know, but as would be my guess. Versus if you're buying like new Cyberpunk games and Grand Theft Auto and whatever else is coming out. Grand Theft Auto PC is probably not coming out for a little bit, so we don't even have the console version yet. But yeah, so I think that's really cool. It was nice to see these other options come out for, hey, mm-hmm. I got this computer over here. It's got this. Can I throw something on it that's not Windows? So I can, because I love throwing Stream OS. I love throwing Google Chrome OS on old PCs that I find are not usable anymore, and they are completely they come back to life with these things. It gets all that Windows crud out of there, which seems to get cruddier as I'm stuck with Windows 11 in a production environment here, right? Mm-hmm. Still get those notifications out every once in a while. So, or my stream seems to be going in and out like it may be right now. I got a little yellow on here if you're joining us live, but we're going to keep going because we got a local record and everything's going to be just fine. But anyways, so yeah, these are kind of the options you have here if you want to get into gaming on a PC. And again, something you can wipe and dedicate only to PC gaming, and maybe hooked up to your desktop, your TV or something like that, and make that work for you there. So there are options, and that's always really, really nice to see. So. But yeah, I don't know, Dave. I know you're kind of a light gamer in that regard. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything you have on this.
No, I mean, I'm kind of shocked at the Steam. I understand things are if it came out last year.
Oh yeah, and this is based on all the tariffs.
Probably would have been $500, $600. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But everything's more expensive, especially RAM and gaming, cards. So I wonder how many people are going to say, yeah, I'm going to plunk down as a starter 1100, and if I want more hard drive, and that's no controller. That 1100 is just the box without a controller.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering, how many people are going to be like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, I think having the necessary of having an AMD graphics card, I don't know if that's going to be something that holds people back, because graphics cards are easier to get a hold of than they were a few years ago.
Sure.
Because no one's using the graphics card for mining Bitcoin anymore. Everyone's using RAM for AI. So,
well, the GPUs are being used for AI, so those have gone up significantly as well. So that's part of the ecosystem problems that we're having right now, actually. Especially the NVIDIA ones. I do not know where AMD is on that. Maybe that's hey, AMD ones are cheaper, but also silicon issues are silicon issues. There's just a general lack of flow right now of those coming out.
And there's not enough fabs.
Yeah.
There's literally not enough factories to build the demand, and factories take years to build. So it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people were hoping, this Steam machine that's going to be a lot more affordable. No.
Well, and in the meantime, Steam is more interested in just giving you more ways to use their platform to make sure you're still buying things on their platform, right? So like that's the biggest thing here. Like I don't think they're going to make a lot of money off of selling a lot of units of these. But if you plop this thing in your living room and just hit buy next time you want a game instead of going to Xbox,
exactly. Yeah,
that's Valve's moneymaker, right? So whatever pulls you into that ecosystem, much like Microsoft isn't so much worried about selling you an Xbox, they want to sell you something that you can purchase that game. That's why the Game Pass and the streaming has been such a big deal. It's like if I can sit on my Samsung TV and purchase your game or your subscription, all the better, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Although I keep buying games that aren't on streaming. So I just picked up that Marvel Maximum collection with all the 90s games with it, like Maximum Carnage and the X-Men arcade game and stuff. And I was like, it's not available anywhere. It's not on my streamer. But Cowabunga collection for Ninja Turtles did pop up on there. So yeah, a lot of those throwback ones, like my Castlevania's Contras, they're not putting on there yet, which is a shame because I'd love to just play some Contra. That's not like a weird emulator on my phone, kind of thing. So, but either way. Oh, very, very cool. Hey, Dave, it is still Pride Month, and we are continuing to celebrate this month in the history of ... that you've been bringing to us on this show. So tell us about what's going on this week in Pride history.
Sure. Today I'm going to highlight John Mad Dog Hall.
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog. Now, partially, the nickname kind of threw, it was like, Mad Dog? Why are they calling this man Mad Dog?
A couple of Mad Dogs in wrestling.
Well, actually, he even said when he was younger, he was angry and like pushing all the time. And eventually a boss said, look, you're limiting yourself with your attitude. People do not want to work with you the way that you're acting. And this is going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And he changed to a much kinder, softer, but kept the Mad Dog name because honestly, if you have the nickname Mad Dog, you're going to keep it.
Absolutely. Like a name Sorgatron somebody gives you when you started a podcast 2 decades ago.
Exactly. So he was an early person in Linux and Unix. There's a link on the page there too. It's an hour-long YouTube talk of his that kind of goes over his history and what he's been through, in terms of here's where he started, in the beginning. So it starts in he started programming in 1969, like in college. And he has some great stories in there. And he even says, he was known as the technology fairy. And he said, not because I was gay, but he came out later on. I don't think he necessarily hid it, but again, it was something where you wouldn't. The history that is taught is, before 1974, you only had a bunch of white straight guys doing stuff.
Yeah, and
in reality, no, you don't. You have a variety of people. It's just a matter of what is highlighted. But yeah, his story is great. In fact, the one story he tells is basically when Linus Torvald came over to the U.S. for the first time.
The creator of Linux.
John saw Linux on, as he calls it, a crappy PC because he was working with like DEC terminals, which are the massive terminals. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars back in the early 90s. These are the things you did if you're doing finite element analysis for engineering. These are the computers you did that on. So these things were so much more powerful. And he went up to Linus and said, what if you take this and you put it on a real machine? And Linus said, I don't have access. I don't have. But as he said, everyone says, you get things done. No, you get things done because you call in favors. Yeah. So he called in favors and said, look, trust me on this. I know you don't know Linus. I know you don't know this guy. You don't know this program, but trust me, this is a big deal. I want you to send this machine with this and add the tape drive for backup. That's an additional $6,000 and ship it over to him. And then he had to get approval and said, okay, by the way, you higher up, you haven't heard of what I want, but the guy who's telling me it's good, you trust him. So what we're going to do is just ship it over. And then he shipped over like a $50,000 computer
Wow.
to have Linus actually get hold of a good piece of software, not the crap software he was, not software, but crap piece. He was like, oh, this is a supercharged computer I'm dealing with, and not just the crap that I was dealing with before. So it's a really interesting kind of story, what he's been through, a little bit of him growing up. And honestly, a lot of it is advice that even if you're not in a technology program, it's good life advice. Right. I mean, you saw he was born in, I think, 1950. So, he's basically retired now. As he said, he looks like Santa Claus.
Says he started programming in 1969, according to this article over on. This is on the Linux Professional Institute website, and I guess he was giving a lot of this is from a talk that he gave at Linux Fest Northwest. And is that Linux? Does that Linux Fest who we've talked to here in Columbus? I can't remember. That's Linux.
I don't remember.
LinuxCon or something. I'm kicking myself. They might be listening. Correct me. It's been a while. So, but either way, so no, that's really cool. So he was one of the, is a programming IBM mainframes, Bell Labs. So this is, when did Linux come out? That's like the 70s, right? So this is
well, no, Unix came out in the 70s.
And Linux is a kind of
it's a easy version of Unix.
Yeah, it's like a Windows.
It's Unix Lite.
It's kind of like Windowsification of DOS, but it's not. But it's not really. It's a less. Not necessarily. I don't think he necessarily.
It's more user friendly.
More user friendly, as much as
more end user. Right. It's an end user friendly where you could actually have someone who's not knowing how to program in, not just program, but in deep code programming, in terms of, let's look at the compiler and see if there's an issue with the compiler, and we'll look at that in machine language.
So more like becoming DOS of the Unix side of things.
Exactly.
DOS was kind of you had commands. You didn't need to know programming. You just needed to know some commands in order to open programs from there. It was basically the idea. And then Windows was on top of it, just much like if you have Linux, like there's usually a graphical interface on top of that Linux code base kind of thing, and there's a lot of forks and variations, including Unix is a base for what's on your iPhone right now. Linux is a base for what's on your Android right now. You know what I mean? That's Linux is kind of in everything that doesn't have Microsoft on it. So, but either way. So very cool. Thank you for that. So that is John Mad Dog Hall, our history of the week. History person? I don't know. I don't have a name for this segment, I guess. Oh, hey, but I do know what's next. According to my document, Chachi is still here, and he's got some video game news with us and for us in the Chachi Says Video Game Minute.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news as I can cover in about a minute. 2K has released the cover art for GTA 6. Spoiler alert, if you've ever seen any GTA cover art, you've seen this one. More importantly though, they announced that the pre-orders will start on June 25th. They didn't announce any prices, so more news to come. A new console has hit the world market. Company Nex has released the Nex Playground, which is aimed at getting children up and moving around without controllers. Upfront cost is $300. This gets you access to 5 free games, with more available via subscription for $90 a year. It started in the US late last year, making a big splash by beating Xbox holiday sales, and is expanding to the UK soon. And lastly, in sad news, Claude Guilleminault, co-founder of Ubisoft, died in a plane crash in western France on Saturday. He and his brothers founded Ubisoft in 1986. He also went on to form the Guilleminault Corporation, which created accessories for PC, mobile devices, and consoles. You will be missed. Thank you for your contribution to gaming. Thanks for watching this week's Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chachi, for that. Of course, some sad news there, but we were looking at the one that you're talking about here. What was the next gaming or next playground? Excuse me.
Yeah.
And I pulled up the article, and I love the like. There's just a kid just like high kicking. That's it. That's before the kid is about to go to the hospital. So it's a cute little box there they got going on for a little bit of motion gaming. So we'll see how that goes as a platform. You know, there's always things like this. Hell, there's motion gaming in my what the hell is my TV called again? Vivo. Is it Vivo? Vivo TV?
Vivo.
Is
it
that
a
what I
Vivo?
have? I see it every day. The one with the AI lady that I got for free. That runs ads in the corner, but we put
Yes,
a Switch.
I know what you're talking about.
By the
Yeah,
way, I
forget.
still have my Switch 2 box in front of the screen with the commercials. So, and it hasn't said anything about it, so I think I'm good to go. But they also run like other ads and content on the other part of the screen too, so underneath. So, I mean, a lot of like info. That's not here for nor there. We'll do a touch base on that in the near future, probably. We should do a 1 year later. How's it going with the free TV though? So,
Yeah.
Either way, so hey, I do want to give a shout out to people that do support this show at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and one Dave Podner. And of course, you can support. Dave would like you to support and get
Yes.
get some discounted registration at races with the code Dave26 at checkout at gcxc.com/eventspa. And maybe you'll see him on the track with your brand new Shock 2 bone conducting. Are you still wearing them right now?
No,
Okay, I
took
literally
them
can't
off.
tell because they were like completely behind your
Oh, yeah.
over ears, so they're so tiny. They're so tiny. Anyway, I don't know what that was. Let's see. Let me. They so tiny. Hey, of course we were at Baja and Formula. Always a great time out there for those events, and a lot of great students doing a lot of really cool things. But I had to point out this. This came across my feed, so I want to give a shout out to Baja Fairfield University. According to this, they were at Palmyra, New York, east of Rochester, where we were. And they filmed a lot of their weekend on a, quote, gas station camera. So, it's a really low res, really jumpy kind of thing. I'm trying to remember if I passed them. Look, there's endurance going right there. So it gives you an idea. Yeah, it's really stutter steppy. It's kind of fun. Yeah, I love he's taking a video of a nicer camera while he's at it too. So I thought that was really kind of fun that they did that. But anyways, sorry. I love the lo-fi media tech. I love the guy showing up with the VHS camera to the wrestling shows and puts that on the Instagram, all that stuff and everything.
It's just funny for those of us who lived through it the first time, how we were like, oh, I'm so happy we don't have to deal with the jumpiness. We have a higher quality. This is so much better than this crap. Just throw it away or donate it. We don't need this old thing anymore. Just get rid of it. And 20 years later, what do you mean everyone wants one? And they're looking on eBay and they're trying to find it.
I say our friend Reese Hayes he was looking at some. I don't think he could get the video working or the tape decks weren't working because I lent him some of mine and see if he wanted to buy, because I still have some of the old mini DV cameras around, right? It's like the standard definition. They're like kind of higher end ones, but actually I got a mix of them. But either way, I should really get rid of those things or not. Apparently, maybe I should just start a project. Apparently, because that's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Commodore phone. Katie brought this up.
Yeah.
And then I saw your post and I'm like, oh, Dave posted it. He's like, oh yeah, that's where I learned about it. I'm like, oh, well, I think this is coming off. Remember a few weeks ago we were at Auto Drive Challenge of all things. Katie's got her cool picks. Okay. And then there was a girl with a Barbie phone that they're selling. And then you came across this Commodore 64 phone by chance. So Dave, what's going on with this?
This is, Commodore was sold off, spun off, and eventually the name was bought by somebody. So This isn't just, Commodore sold the name, they licensed the name. This is actually the corporation that owns the Commodore name.
Okay.
And they wanted something retro, but they wanted something different. So their idea was, this is based, I believe, on the Starfish operating system. which is not based on Android at all.
It's a
So
flip
this is a-
phone. Let's also point out
it is
this is a
phone, yeah.
flip phone.
It's a flip phone, however, and they want this to be a phone you use for a phone or text,
Okay.
but no social media.
They're putting over de-Googled Linux-based OS, no
Mhm.
social media, no browsing, no doom scrolling.
You-
WhatsApp
you
is
can't-
pre-installed.
I must say, you can't even sideload social media. They
Wow.
hard-coded in that it will not allow you to do it. So it's a Sailfish OS. So, and the thing is, certain things like you can get apps on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't a complete dumb phone. So you can do apps on it.
It's a T9 interface. No, it's so you would text through the T9 back
Yeah.
back in the
It
day.
is the T9. It does have maps. It does have a phone. It does have a camera, which is
Mhm.
actually it isn't a horrible camera.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a flip phone, and the idea is this isn't your only phone per se. But let's say you have your smartphone that you do everything on, but you just want to have a phone where, hey, if you need to call me or text me, I'm available, but I don't want to have
This
access
is
to anything else.
This is the I'm in the woods and need a detached phone.
Exactly.
But I need a phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they have the various colors here. It tells you all the communications, the music. Uber and Lyft are available on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few games on it, but I
4
don't know how
classic
much-
Commodore games included, thousands more loadable. So they're going back to the, hey, here's the catalog of Commodore 64
Yep.
games or whatnot.
And they do have one that looks like a classic Commodore.
Mm-hmm.
So my only thing against it, and I think this is going to be an ongoing thing for the next, I don't know, forever. It's like $400 to $500.
It's $4.99 according to the
$4.99,
bottom of it, yeah.
which for a phone that doesn't let you do a lot, that's expensive. So you have to be someone who has no problem saying, "Hey, I already have a phone," or you're someone who's like, "I don't really need Facebook, anything else, in terms of social media. I just want a step above a dumb phone. I just want a super feature phone, let's call it, and I'm fine with that."
It feels a little much because we're talking about iPhones will start at what, like $600 or $700 right now, right? Yeah. Or it's comparable maybe if you get it at the right place. Like I know they got iPhones for almost nothing next door at Cricket, for instance, right? And they're going to get all that stuff, no matter how, even if it's a 3-year-old phone, it's going to get all the same stuff and have more quote unquote capabilities than this. But it's a highly customized. I can't imagine they're making a lot of these. Like this isn't something that's going to be at scale like the typical Samsung or Apple phone, for instance,
No.
right? So I think that's you're getting a very specialized experience with this. But I'm really impressed with how many apps they do have on here. You're talking about all the Uber and Lyft and like all the music apps that I can tell that you would need. I don't see YouTube Music that I use, but you do have. It claims to have Apple Music on here. I guess that is on Linux, or I'm sorry, Android. Spotify.
It is. Yeah.
Prime Music, Audible. I'm seeing on here Deezer. So you're covered with a lot of that stuff. But if you're literally like, I am a social, I don't even want the option of social media, like which hey. Yeah. Good for you, man. It's not the world I live in, but I understand why people don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know if kids or younger people would even have any like not reminiscences, but like, oh, Commodore's so retro, it's in.
I've heard maybe that's it. I'm like, oh, is this thing from your parents used to use, kind of thing.
Yeah, parents or possibly grandparents at this point, but yes. But you figure Commodore really fell off 25 plus 30 years ago. Really, early 90s was the last anyone really heard of using them widespread, like normal. This 128 and the Amigas were kept on using behind the scenes, but in terms of, I use a Commodore, that was like 80s, early 90s peak.
Okay.
So but I could see, honestly, it got a lot of people saying, "Hey, I want my kid to have a phone because I want to have contact, but I don't want them to have blah 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 blah."
All the crud, yeah.
Here you go, and you at least can pull up an Uber, so it isn't like a dumb flip phone where you can't do anything on it.
Yeah, yeah. So, Dave, yeah, we'll get into this. I kind of wanted to wait for Katie because she's the one that introduced me to this article. But have you kept up on how versed are you in the World Cup right now?
Not overly. A little bit here and there, but I'm not overly into it.
So let's push at this, and then let me see if I remember from when I read a bit of this article like a week ago. But it's really kind of incredible the technology that goes into it. I love, a few weeks ago I watched the Michigan International Speedway NASCAR race, so at least a little bits and pieces of it, because we, again, did 2 events over the last couple of months. So it was kind of fun to see that and see we went over and saw the wall that they had to repair with 50 laps left of that after that big wreck and things like that. But I'm always fascinated by like the technology, hey, this is you bring up a graphic that's pointing at this car or pointing at this basketball player or this soccer player or something like that, right? And how things are mimicked. And it was really cool to see. There's a Wired article. I think there's also duplicated in Ars Technica. I didn't know they were the same thing. But, and watch your subscription. And of course, if you have Apple, News, a lot of this should be included in that too. Camera sensors, 3D body scans, all the tech helping eliminate blown calls. So they're talking about all of the cameras. Now, I was really impressed. First of all, we're watching this thing. It was just on in a restaurant we were at. And I was like, are they using cinematic cameras? So there is a bit where they're using cinematic cameras for like those long depth of field shots of like the people down on the field. But the other thing they're doing is they're using this kind of body scan technology along with I think I ended up in this is a different article. Wait, this is a wrong article. Oh no. So anyways, the thing where I was looking at, they have basically, and I think this is related to something I saw you post here in the thing later. Basically, they're duplicating the entire field of play and all the players and where they're at, and they have basically a virtual re-representation of the field to help assist. And there's like a virtual assisted referee, I think they call it VAR. This is all top of my head because again I've lost the article, but so basically it's an additional level of, there's already sensors just like we talk about with tennis where there's sensors to help you to see when the ball goes out of bounds, whether it was in or out or anything like that. So a very quick thing. So they can, and I don't know how much they've used this yet, but they've been able to, duplicate all of that and go to a tight call in this other room that they have set up, sponsored by, I don't know, it was Microsoft or something. But no, it was just really cool to see the technology they are putting in this. And again, I think there's a lot of stuff being introduced because it is the World Cup. This is every 4 years. It's just like the Olympics is like, we're due a giant step up. I don't think the individual ball clubs in the state in the countries have this necessarily, but the big FIFA tournament will, of course. But yeah,
the FIFA tournament money wise is mammoth.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and those of us in the U.S. who don't really watch football don't realize how big it is and how big FIFA is. But it is truly mammoth, and the amount of money is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the article. Listen, this article's come up on 3 different platforms and looks different on every platform, but it is the same article. I'm really confused by what's going on this side of things, okay? But no, they're talking about the digital twin concept. And again, Lenovo is the tech partner for this. They call it the Hawkeye system, where they place generic avatars previously been used for offsides and other VAR applications. So there's, but yeah, it's the detail they're going to have on this is crazy. When you get into it, and just even the data flow or anything that they're doing too. So VAR will now send immediate alerts to sideline officials for obvious, promptly detectable offside decisions, stopping play right away. So it's like it's like ABS for soccer. So, whereas basically they continue. past arrangements allowed play to continue after violations, only stopping the action later if a notable event like a goal or penalty took place. So, like before, they were looking at this on the back end, but the game didn't stop.
Right.
Now they're saying
They can actually stop
we
it.
need to stop the game
Yeah.
and review this. So,
And for people who are not familiar with how soccer, football is played, there are no breaks.
mhm.
They do the 45-minute halves. If there's like a substitution or if the ball goes out of bounds, they keep track of it and they just add on the time afterwards.
Mhm.
So this isn't like NFL football where it's like, oh, and the clock stops and no, there is no clock stopping. So yeah, but the fact they can do it without having to stop, they can just say, by the way, something looks wrong here.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a big deal. That's
No,
a big deal.
No, absolutely. And it takes less time to kind of mull over it and stuff too. 500 capturing positions 500 times per second. Typical video is 60 frames per second. This show, if you're watching this online, is 30 frames per second, for instance. Film is 24 frames per second, for your context. They're doing 500 checks on position per second.
Wow.
That's how high resolution this is. And they said about like the 3D goalkeeper view shows the goalie's point of view and the digital twin setup, of course. So and this is, I think you're doing a lot of this. You're seeing a lot of things where you just are recreating the entire thing, even down to like fun applications. Like we've seen the basketball games with characters over it. What was it? Was it a Looney Tunes one? Like what? I can't remember what they did for that one.
SpongeBob.
Was it No, SpongeBob I know was the NFL.
Okay.
Maybe
okay.
they did do that. I feel like it was Disney
It was
characters.
Okay.
I
it may
think Disney did that because they have ESPN.
Okay.
Or you say the Nickelodeon versions where they just sort of place everybody with cartoon representations, right? Now this goes into, like, Dave, I wanted to parlay this into this other technology that's been used for apparently watching baseball games.
Yeah. This is Ribby, and this was actually vibe coded. So Major League Baseball puts play-by-play on
one
its
sec
website.
back for those that may be new to
Sure.
the discussion on vibe coding.
Yeah.
We talked about this over the last couple of weeks. I know you played with something and had an application we were trying out. Basically, if you go into your Google Gemini Pro or ChatGPT Claude, you can ask it to create the code to create an application. That is what vibe coding is. So, so Dave, you said this is vibe coded. So what did they get into?
So, like I said, on Major League Baseball's site, they have like literally play-by-play. And so he was able to take the information and recreate it live as an 8-bit baseball game. So if you go up to the kind of the top of the article there, a little further down, I'm sorry, in the article itself.
Oh, okay. Here we go. How about that?
Yeah. No, a little higher up. Right. Oh, first paragraph.
Okay.
First or second Ribby. There should be a link for Ribby.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, we can hop right into it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Live watch a game. That's what we're trying to do.
Yep. So you just do that.
Hey, Pittsburgh's playing. They're top of the fifth.
Okay,
I'm going to click
so
on
if you
it.
click on that.
And there we are. Oh, wow, they got the bridges and everything. So they have a
They got PNC Park.
They have a
pretty much.
pixelized representation of the park. Now, this is maybe a little less technology than we're talking about because it's really easy to see, like, hey, batter on, somebody's on second.
The thing is, though, but the thing is, when the pitcher actually pitches in the game, he'll actually pitch on the graphic here.
Oh,
and when there's a hit, it'll look like something's hitting.
Oh, there it goes. That was a strike.
Yeah.
It popped up, and he's throwing the ball back. Okay.
Now, the other thing, if you go on the upper right, there should be something for Zoom.
Zoom? I think I'm in Zoom.
Okay. And you can select full screen or couch or room.
Oh, whoa. Put in the corner.
Or the mini viewer, yeah.
Full screen, mini viewer, couch.
Yeah, if you unclick where it says mini viewer, there we go.
There we go. Zoom out. Oh, okay.
And if you click, it's like you're sitting in a fancy, and if you actually click on the box score in the bottom left, it'll Yeah, right there. It'll actually pop up the box score of the game, play-by-play that's available.
And scrollable.
Yeah.
Very cool. There you go. I like that. That's really cool. And I think that's the thing. We talk about like the coding and everything. I feel like this is something, we're really amazed when somebody does code a really interesting website like this. But there's people that have these ideas that have no facility to do this, right? And now again, it's kind of democratized these ideas and functions. So because, I even just like, hey, just take this picture and turn it into pixel art. Easy enough, right? Just kind of like to make the thing happen. And again, this is a lot of times they're probably not getting they're not getting paid for this thing, right?
Oh, no.
So
No.
there's certainly not. This is just a project that's out there, and it probably has a server, and hopefully it's not getting hit too bad or anything like that. So built for fans by fans. Love baseball. Hope you enjoy it. It's nope, more like 16-bit than 8-bit. 16-bit baseball doesn't sound nearly as catchy. Yes, exactly. So, not official. So, and how are they bringing the information in? Are they just bringing it
It's
off
right
of
off
MLB?
of they're just scraping Major League Baseball's website.
Which usually has live updates for this. So
Yep.
you're just bringing that in. Like, I don't know if it's an RSS feed or at least a some kind of pull on the information.
And to be
able to do
honest,
this.
they may not know because with the whole vibe coding thing, you're like, okay, do this, and you don't know how it's all, pull it in for Major League Baseball, and it writes its own code, so you don't know how it's being done.
Oh man! Hey, you want to see a hilarious social media fail? Again, something that I'm sure is automatic. By the way, listen. So I am very interested. We get a lot of. We're in this mode where we get a lot of pitches, guys, for guests for this podcast that are definitely like, I don't know if you're a thing. So I've been using, I've actually been using an AI to help me like read these, vet these, and say, okay, what are the flags here? What the show is, like, just to help me process things because I get a lot of these. Is this viable? And helps me decipher and pick out ways to say, hey, I like what you're talking about, but this is the code. And this is going to filter a lot of people out. I think we got one response. I'm probably going to I'm not bringing these guys on the show. We're probably going to bring back the Awesome Chat for things that are people that I don't think will hang with the flow of the show. So we're going to play with that. And it sucks. I can throw it out, kind of thing. But either way, so it was also funny because these things are definitely AI. Like I talked to one of these guys that was supposed to be lead generation like at the beginning of the year, and they're like, yeah, we use AI, but we have better AI than everybody else. I'm like you responded to our email and that was completely AI. I was like, yeah, okay, I got you. But but I just love, I responded to the one, it said like, and I love they're saying like my name, your name, Katie, or me and you, depending on which episode they got it from. They insert some topic that we talked about from the transcript, and then nobody listened to this. Nobody listened to this. Let's be honest about this. They just pulled the feed, saw we're a podcast, and did the thing, and we responded. But either way, so again, I feel like this is also an automated situation. So have you heard the saga of T-Pain on social media?
I did earlier today
because
yes.
I shared it.
It's absolutely hilarious.
So this is this is off the Instagram Hood Ratchet TV. Hood Ratch TV, Ratchet TV. I don't know, whatever it is. I saw this somewhere else too, but this is the shareable that I found. So according to this, so you got T-Pain out there. So DoorDash keeps tagging T-Pain, referencing the World Cup. And for instance, DoorDash is at T-Pain. You gave everything out there tonight. We saw it. Hashtag or emoticon, I don't know, Australia maybe, and a soccer ball. And T-Pain like retweets it. I don't even know what. I presume we're on Twitter. Yeah, it's on X. He retweets it with, "I literally don't play soccer." And then there's all these interactions. Are you all okay? DoorDash, stop tagging me in these soccer posts. I literally don't play soccer. The intern is gonna shit a brick when they realize, who do you think you're tagging? And they all look so like, this is when the true goats show up. T-Pain, the game is in your hands. Let's go. NZ football. Oh, so it's New Zealand. So who did you... NC football is still plenty of time. Small tactical suggestion: give the ball to T-Pain. This is the kind of stuff. So I can imagine them. There's a whole row of these. What a throw from T-Pain! Absolute cinema. Saw T-Pain warming up. Looks like he's ready to deliver. They must have messed up somebody's Twitter in these automated things or something. The Egyptian King is not playing with T-Pain. OMG.
The actual footballer is Tim Payne.
Oh yeah. So this is what they got.
So they said, yeah, make sure T-Pain, and I imagine his last name looks like Payne, Payne. So if you go to if you go to T-Pain's like Instagram, out of that right there, he does have first of all a shot from DoorDash that was like all the DoorDash stuff.
T-Pain
He's
is
like,
not.
DoorDash,
Oh,
I didn't order all this.
T-Pain is not Tim Payne.
Yeah, well, keep going, because he has multiple photos. Yeah,
Stop saying.
Thomas. Oh, wait, if you scroll out, you can see down below. Give me liberty, death, or shoddy.
So Lovey's got a good.
The fact he has a sense of humor about it.
Yes, Tiffany Pollard. Let me tell you something about something Johnny Bananas. Tommy Pickles. A baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. Tom Petty. They both make pretty good music though. Travis Pastrana. They both drive good though. Troy Polamalu. He should do shampoo commercial. Fantastic.
And of course, the original T-Pain, Tylenol.
Wait, what was it in there?
The last one after Troy.
Oh, geez.
Tylenol.
Wow.
T-Pain.
Oh no. Somebody at DoorDash is gonna. There was a meeting on Monday, you guys.
But honestly, let's be honest. This is not horrible.
No, absolutely. But
it's one of those. It gets the name out.
We've heard of this before too. Like, there are examples of these always in social media where you scheduled a bunch of stuff just in social media. We hear these horror stories all the time. You scheduled a bunch of stuff and then they goes out over the weekend. There's been something like this where some horrible thing happens on like Friday night, Saturday morning, and your like Pampers tweets go out. And the context is like, yo, too soon, but you scheduled it on Monday and nobody's going to touch it because nobody's looking at your social media over the weekend until you get in there Monday, and the poor damn intern probably sees all his responses like, oh God, or they're getting called into an office over it. Right. So like this is like the new version. Again, this has to be automated. First of all, those tweets are incredibly, what the hell? And or they were writing it and they literally didn't have the right connect to the right T-Pain,
and they didn't
never
bother,
checked, and
they didn't bother before even writing and say, okay, here it is right here, here is the correct one, use this.
And there's got to be like that they're not seeing the responses to they at least went through an entire game of this minimum. Right. And so if you are doing, and I get you're doing whatever, and like we do shows and we don't take a look at social media when everyone's like, yo, this is messed up or something that we're working on, because you just don't have the bandwidth. I would hope DoorDash has the bandwidth, and in the moment they're probably just like trying to keep up with whatever the players or whoever.
I wonder if this is actually DoorDash or if they just use it's not actual internal DoorDash. It's a social media thing that they use outside.
Yeah, it's probably an outsourced social
like
media
an agency.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I still feel there's a whiff of automation happening here.
Oh yeah, no, agree. There's
broken.
Definitely automation, but that's where I don't think you're going to have, if someone at DoorDash was noticing this, if it was internal, they could pick up the phone and say, stop.
Somebody
stop. Versus an agency, you're like, okay, we got to get a hold of our agency rep. Oh, wait a minute, are they available? Or what's going on here?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like I said, this is the funny things that happen. And honestly, it's so damn. It's partially a fail, but it gets the name out.
Mhm.
Which, hey, it's fun.
No, absolutely.
I loved his reaction. His reaction was perfect.
He's probably just sitting there like, what is going on right now?
Mhm.
You know, so what all my fans talk about DoorDash. I'm not sponsored by them, like everybody else seems to be. So Dave, let's wrap it with that, with the T-Pain of it all. So thank you so much. Thank you for bringing some of the tech here. I know you got some AI glasses roundup. I want to hold that until next week, probably.
Sure, sounds
So,
good.
and we do have a big question for Katie when she comes back on the show, whether she should be picking something up. So, but yeah, had a great time there. Again, look for the social media. Look on Sorgatron. Check out our friends SA University programs as well. There's a lot of content we did over the weekend. A lot of it kind of went viral, actually. So, there was at least one post there that as of Saturday we were at 500,000 views or
Wow.
interactions or something like that. So, and again, you know, all the credit to that team and you know, letting me and Katie, mostly Katie, with the really good stuff that went viral, send them stuff from the field and suggestions and things like that. So I think we're hitting a really, really cool stride with our client as far as, you know, the during event kind of coverage idea. And then I'm sitting on so much footage here for the next, you know, God, months. I got a meeting tomorrow to figure out what to do with all this footage I have. I'm still working on some interviews, just getting them parsed out for review, raw review from May, and now I have 3 events back to back that I have to start parsing through on top of everything. So go check out that. Check out the YouTube. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of updates and stuff, and we were doing daily updates and you know, kind of teaser reels and things like that. So over on their Instagram, SA University programs, again, a lot of fun there. I'm sad the season is over, and but we got one more event coming up here late September in Ohio. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area and want to see what Baja is about, I will encourage you to investigate Baja SAE Ohio coming up. It's on this side. I can't remember where exactly it's at. It's on this side of Columbus, like near Newark, Ohio. Actually near the Gathering of Juggalos, where it's been over the last several years. Not this year. They're in Missouri or something this year. So, but yeah, and so I was familiar with the area, and when we did it about 3 years ago, and we decided to go back to that spot, and we should be live streaming that as well. So the live streams are coming back, baby. I know we're confirmed for a few of them for next year as well. So getting back to it. So Dave Potter, Prof Pod on most of the social media, or Dave Potter PGH.
Yep. KTK can look out for me. I'm somewhere around there somewhere posting, so keep a lookout.
And check that iPhoneography podcast for all those conversations you have over there.
Yep.
Excellent. Again, at Sorgatron on all the social medias from me. And again, keep an eye out. We might have some of these interviews. We might have some extra content soon. Did a little bit of an unboxing here today before the show that I'll put out on social media at some point this week. So thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.